Awesome. There we are. We're with another episode of this YouTube series of Luna.ai. We are trying to interview 100 sales professionals to get all of their feedback and learn all about their experience to help us build the ultimate sales AI, the ultimate sales platform, as well as sharing their knowledge with everyone that is listening. So everyone that is tuning in, everyone that's listening, thanks so much. Today we have an awesome guest, Aamir Sohail. Before I ask him to introduce him, I'm just gonna take a short 20 seconds to talk about Luna to give you like the benchmark of what we have today. So Luna is a B2B sales platform using AI to help you find your ultimate leads, your perfect leads, scrape the entire internet to find everything there is to find, and then use all of that information and the newest AI models to write mind-blowing sales emails. And that's the base of what it is right now. We're trying to build the ultimate sales tools for AEs that basically build a platform that AEs love to use. And to do that, we're interviewing all of these amazing sales professionals, where Aamir is one of them. So Aamir, can you tell us a bit more about yourself, please?
Sure. Thanks, Steven, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Aamir Sohail, and I am part of the inside sales team at Vervotech. We're a travel technology company, and the goal is to revolutionize the travel content of the entire travel industry. We specialize in providing data solutions to travel agencies. My role here is to reach out to customers, to prospects, and get a good pipeline for the sales team. I myself take care of the outbound efforts here at Vervotech, and I have a team of SDRs reporting to me.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. And we're really excited to have you in this conversation. Maybe first to generate a bit of context and to so that people also know when we're going into the details of sales technology, sales structures and stuff like that. Can you tell me a bit more about like the product that you're selling? Basically, you mentioned travel technology. Is there what do you guys do? What is the value proposition that you offer?
Sure. So, as I said, we're a travel technology company, and we have developed a few products for the industry. Basically, they are called hotel mapping and room mapping. So, just to tell you what it actually is, travel companies these days buy and sell a lot of hotel rooms, and they source it through multiple providers. So, because so many providers are involved, the data becomes fragmented. What our tool does, it maps all the hotel IDs, whether it's in hundreds of millions of hotel IDs, and tells your system to display a unique hotel every time. So using our hotel mapping and room mapping tech, big travel agencies make sure that their content on their website, the listings are accurate, free of duplicates, and like just the correct data. So that's what we do for them.
I gotcha. So that also prevents me from from me as a user when I'm trying to book holidays and stuff like that to also make sure that I'm getting the room that I'm paying for.
Exactly. The correct room, the correct hotel, the address is correct, the phone number, locations, amenities, everything is correct when you book as a user.
Gotcha. Oh, that's awesome. So you're a B2B SaaS company, right? So
exactly.
What is the average size of the companies that you're reaching out to?
So there's no restriction for size. We cater to small startups with around 10 employees to big conglomerates with thousands of employees. So basically, any travel agency or a travel company that has some form of technology to book hotels can use us. Depends on how many suppliers they're working with, but basically any size is what we look for.
Interesting. Is that also what you're doing when you mentioned that you are responsible for the outbound efforts? Is that also what you're doing, reaching out to any kind of company, or do you have a specific ICP that you're going after?
Yeah, so the company niche is, of course, travel agencies. So all travel businesses that are buying and selling hotels become our key market. For ICP, since ours is a B2B product, we require buyers who are in charge of the tech related decisions. So CTOs, product managers who are our end users of the tool, general managers, CEOs, co-founders. So basically C-level people or tech level decision makers are, our ICPs at these companies.
Gotcha.
And I myself particularly take care of the North America market. We have other team members who cater to, Middle East, Asia Pacific, and India and South America, these markets.
Gotcha. So it's more geography based than it is like let's say the demographics of like the how big the company is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Isn't that also like, doesn't that make it also more challenging, which is an assumption, of course, from my side, but make that more challenging to set up the right outbound sequences and stuff like that? Because if you're like trying to write a message that resonates with conglomerates as well as startups, then that might become a challenge. How do you, like,
I
is that the
understand.
case?
Yeah, I mean, to somewhat, yes, a conglomerate might have different decision makers, but it's all the same thing. Like the problem that we are solving, it is the same for a, say, a 10 people travel company to a 1,000 people travel company. It's just the scale that is different. So we have plans of startup plans, premium level plans, and enterprise plans. The plans take care of the operations, but when it comes to down, the problem is same for both of these. As you said, geography is the bifurcation here. So each of our SDRs have now become the experts of that region. So they do the lead generation of the region on their own. They know each and every company there. They know who knows who in that market. So it becomes a powerful tool for us when we're dividing into geographies. It has worked for us till now. So that's the idea behind it.
Yeah, very interesting. And if you take a look at your current sales process and your current sales stack, what does that look like in terms of, you mentioned you're responsible for outbound. I can imagine that you guys are getting some inbound leads as well. Like, is there some kind of distribution? How would that work within the company?
Yeah, so yeah, I we also take care of inbound leads in our team as well. We have a dedicated person who reaches out to the inbound leads, and rest of us do outbound. So in terms of tech for outbound, I'll walk you through the tech. We use tools like Apollo and Sales Navigator for our lead generation and for emails and phone numbers. So these are our main discovery tools. Then we have an email outreach tool, which is also our dialer, which is it's called Clenty. It's an automated emailing tool which has your automated LinkedIn connection, so also your phone dialer feature all in one. So I put my cadences into that. We also use other free tools that help us in personalizing videos, personalizing LinkedIn templates, and everything. We use Calendly for our meeting scheduling. And in terms of CRM, we have Zoho as a CRM for all our leads management, whether it's inbound, outbound, everything. And that's for outbound. Then for inbound, I think we have another paid Calendly subscription for inbound leads. We use HubSpot to track the inbound leads and conversions and everything. And yeah, these are some of the tools that we use in both these inbound and outbound approaches.
For the inbound leads, are you using the HubSpot forms as well to track that, or?
Yeah, HubSpot forms as well. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. So basically, a lead comes in, they put in their information in the form, HubSpot logs that, sends an automated email, and then
Exactly.
hopefully the leads,
Yeah.
they schedule a meeting, a demo.
Yeah, then we reach out to them, and based on what page they have come, we've personalized the emails a bit, personalize the phone numbers a bit, do a little bit of research about them, and then get them on a call.
Gotcha. Very cool. Do you also have a process in place to, let's say I go to your website, I sign up for a demo, you send me like a automated email with like a scheduling link, and then I don't respond. Is there also a process in place for that? Do you do that manually?
Yeah, I mean, the first email that you will receive will be from a human, my team member only. So we send them the first email, because the first email has to be customized based on what business they're from, so as to grasp the mindset. Because if it's on a pricing page, we know that the intent is to buy. If it's on a product page, we know that the intent is to know more. So based on that, the first email will be from a human, then follows a sequence for emails. We also try to find out the phone number, and then we call them. Simultaneously, LinkedIn outreach will be there. So all channels will be hit once they give us their email and the relevant page where they're looking for us.
That's super interesting. Have you also experimented with sending like templated emails after someone signed up for a demo?
Yeah, we use templates because I feel templates, provide a structure to the entire cadence. So if they have requested for some sample data of our tool, we send them a different template. If it's on, the pricing page or an API documentation page or a case study page. So templates have worked great for us, and I feel they provide consistency and also a good starting point for a personalized email. So that's what we use templates for.
No, that's very interesting. But I was also wondering, like, if I were to go to the website and sign up for a demo, and
Mhm.
you like basically I would receive I can receive two kinds of emails, right? You
Yeah,
mentioned I can receive like, hey Stephen, thanks for signing up for a demo. This is the Calendly link. Hope to speak to you soon. Or it
yeah,
can be, hey Stephen, I saw that you were checking out the pricing page. Is there anything specific? Let's discuss, or like something
exactly.
regarding the business. Have you also experimented with the impact between one and the other?
Yeah. We do it into is like if we have relevant information from your side, like Steven from Luna Travels, or that so many domain information LinkedIn page, you'll get a highly customized one. But if it was from your personal email, say steven@gmail.com, there's no way to for us to
Of course.
find
No.
exactly where this company is from. Then you will receive a best template that has worked for us, which will have generic information, not much personalized, but still you'll have the email, but it will be of more of a template based, but not a human based.
Nice. And let's say I would do that with a like my business email address. What
Mm-hmm.
kind of tool are you using right now for the personalization, or is your team doing it by hand?
Yeah, so mixture of both. Once we visit your LinkedIn page, we see that you've been recently acquired by a bigger company or recently some changes happened. So what we'll do is we'll use tools like copy.io or Write Cream or multiple of these personalization tools that give you that you just have to give them the input of your relevant profile, and we'll see since we'll get a script that since you've been recently acquired or you've been recently awarded this award, kudos to you. We work in a similar space, and then you'll get the personalized email from at least the first mail would be personalized from our side. The rest we can tweak and put follow up in the cadence itself.
Gotcha. That's awesome. How much control would you like to
Mhm.
have over the emails that can send out as soon as they start being personalized?
Yeah, I mean, if all the emails are being personalized based on the prospect's domain or LinkedIn, that would be like the ideal situation. But yeah, I think the first point of personalization should be in my control. If whether I want to congratulate them on the award, or whether I like to congratulate them on the acquisition, or simply I would like to highlight a pain point that I see in their business. Once I think the most important one is the first form of communication that sets the tone. If it's just a congratulatory email, maybe they'll not see it, or they'll see and just say thanks in their mind and just move ahead. But if it's a pain point based one, I think that the response will be there. So I would like to be in control of the first point of personalization, and the rest can be automated if possible, and rest I can figure out on LinkedIn or on phone what I want to talk to them about.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
let's say it would be like a highly personalized. Like the reason I'm asking is because Luna has, of
Mhm.
course, an outbound tool at this moment, but we're
Mhm.
going to be supporting inbound leads and the entire process for uh, um, acquiring inbound leads and making
Mhm.
sure that they will be handled
Mhm.
as well, because that's an important form of lead generation as well, especially
Mhm.
because you know the buying intent.
Mhm.
You know the timing is all right, because otherwise they would not leave their email address. So that's the reason I'm asking, and that's why I'm trying to figure out like what could be the most perfect way for you. Like
Mhm.
if you were to enable, like if you were to build it yourself, what would that process look like in your eyes, like the inbound process?
I think if that happens, if that feature comes in Luna, it would be just perfect for us, because we get we get time off on our resource that we're putting there just to find pain points and find relevance. But yeah, if that could be automated, it would be great. I would trust Luna with the personalization point that it comes up with, because I've seen it work in outbound how it does. So in inbound, I'm sure if we can give the AI good input on what to say when it's on pricing page, what to say when it's on sample data page, or what to say if it's just on a chat from the chatbot. I think it could save a lot of time and effort from our side if inbound could be personalized. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and I like the fact that you mentioned, because that's a brilliant idea. Like, where are they coming from? Are they
Exactly.
requesting a demo on like the pricing page or the features page or like the homepage?
Mhm.
That is of course like there are a lot of separate things. So if we can get that information as well, make an estimate on the buying intent, or most likely like the reasoning behind the
Mhm.
demo request or like the information request, that would also be very cool and very interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is super interesting. Maybe to move on to the next subject, more about your own role, because we've been diving into inbound leads. Of course, I know that you mentioned that you are responsible for outbound,
Yeah.
and mostly. Are you responsible for the entire sales funnel, or are you mostly responsible for the lead generation part?
So just the lead generation part, we have dedicated team of salespeople who will, take this lead ahead after the demo is done and it's a sales qualified lead. They will take it up, but
Yeah.
we have to, get them to the demo, possibly a few discovery calls, but the main demo is given by in presence of the sales team. We are also part of that call, but the our goal is to generate these leads and get them to the demo.
Exactly. And if you're doing this, like, what would you say then is from your personal experience, is the value of that discovery call, that first call, and like, how can you increase that value as much as possible?
So yeah, I think the discovery call or the first call is the heartbeat of the sales process, and since gives us a clear opportunity to see why the prospect is there, and the product and the client fit as well. Many times we've seen that the entire demo happens, and then we know from the client that they are not a good fit for us. They're also kind enough to go through the 1 hour demo or 45-minute demo and then tell us that they do not have the technology in place for both the companies to work together. But yeah, I think a good discovery call, it accelerates the sales process. And interestingly, in this thing, I think in this aspect, I think AI can do much when it comes to enhancing this process. I myself have recently started taking AI-based meeting notes kind of tool that automates the note-taking process so that we can be fully present in the call. And I think the AI note-taking tool captures every nuances and generates a good follow-up emails with pinpoint accuracy, I must say. And that's just that's just AI amplifying the human connection that we have. So it of course, saves time, but it takes up really good points from the meeting to help the sales team to accelerate the deal.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that is very interesting. Would you like, if you dive into the topic of AI note takers, can you tell me a bit more about like what the AI note taker does for you, and basically maybe also a very open and broad question: is that how it would work in the perfect world, or is there anything you'd like to add, change, improve?
Yeah, so the one we use is already integrated in our email outreach platform, which is Plenty. So what's the most interesting thing about it is it transcribes everything. It also gives sentence-wise sentiment to the conversation. For example, in our conversation, if at any point of time you give a negative statement, it will highlight it differently, and it will give timestamps on when the conversation went good, when it went bad. It detects moods, it detects action items, it detects follow-ups, it can highlight company mentions, you can put a search and find keywords in the transcript. So basically it gives us everything that we need to know about the call. So if I was not even there on the call, and I just take a look at the output of the note-taking tool, I will be fully aware of everything: the facts, the sentiments, the feelings, the next steps, and the possibility of the deal. And what I feel in a perfect world is uh, is where we don't have to read the entire transcript. It's just as good as asking a colleague how did the call went, and if it gives you the near perfect answer to what your colleague might say, it would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, without having to look at the recording or the transcript, if we just get 3-liner summary of the call or a 5-liner, email about the call, it would be great.
Exactly. And then you can always dive in deeper if you have additional questions or would like to verify something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. In terms of discovery calls, do you also have like a standardized template or like standardized questions that you'd like to ask? Or is it like, do you have, let's say, a qualitative measurement, whether or not it is a sales qualified lead, or is it more quantitative? Like,
it is more of quantitative, I would say. Like since we are working in a niche, the travel industry is a niche, and the technology is quite specific. So for any travel agency to work with us, there must be an underlying technology, which is a search to book functionality, where you go and search the hotels. So that's called as a booking engine. So that becomes the criteria number one, that the company must have a booking engine in place. And the second criteria is, for the data to be duplicate, there needs to be more than one sources. So they must be working with more than two providers for the hotel data. That is the second criteria. And the third is, the ICP should be right. It should not be a salesperson taking the demo for a technology product, and then it just goes nowhere. So these three criteria, they must have a booking engine in place, they must have multiple suppliers, and it must be a right ICP it must be the decision maker, in short. So these three, the call is SQL if all these criteria are fulfilled. So that's what we follow here.
Exactly. There's also one, like I was reading up, of course, about you and the company before we had this call, and there was one quote which I wrote down immediately as soon as I read it, which was awesome, which was qualify hard, close easy, which
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was that was very awesome. Can you tell me a bit more about like what that like? I think the lines itself stand for itself, but can you give a bit more context about that? How you get that? Like, how do you
Sure,
see that?
sure. So I think that the line was quoted from another such a discussion that took place last year. So it was when I became the top performing SDR here at this company in terms of the number of meetings and booked demos and SQLs. So, so someone asked me, how do you do it? Like, what is the quote unquote the secret behind it? So it's just, according to me, it's just how much time you allocate to what activities. So if you're spending the 70% of your day prospecting and gathering leads from multiple sources, or finding out companies that might fit your description, and if you're spending too much time on it's, I don't think that's good. So, and if you're not spending any time on visiting the website, you just get 200 lists of companies and you just download the list, you put all of them in a sequence. That is also not good. I think the right amount of time spent on prospecting and qualifying them before you reach out, I think that's what worked for me. I hard qualified the leads a lot. I mean, I made 6 or 7 criteria in my mind based on how the previous deals have gone and how the previous conversations have gone with such companies. I have given them tiers, like this seems to me like a tier one company, tier two company, or tier three company. So that works for me. So I only take the conversation ahead. I invest in the cold calling effort. I invest in the LinkedIn effort if the company has qualified in my mind before I present it to the sales team and everyone. So I think a good amount of efforts in researching about the company and qualifying them before you actually qualify them is what worked for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Maybe one other topic which I personally think is very interesting. We touched upon it a couple of times already, but let's call it the perfect balance between AI and humans in the sales process. There are specific parts in the sales process, of course, which are very interesting and relevant, and some could be automated easily, some could be automated, but the question is, should they? What is your general vision of the use of AI in a B2B sales process?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fairly new, but what I personally feel is using AI in sales is like an orchestra. The AI sets the rhythm, but the humans impose the melody. So if a
Nice.
combination of both is there, then you hear a good song. If not, you're just listening to something that's not pleasant. That's what I feel. So for me, I think the AI handles the repetitive task and the data analysis part and everything. But if you give AI this task, you get the humans get the time freeing. It basically frees us for creativity and connection. The AI can send a connection request on based on your command, but it cannot carry the conversation ahead. It cannot tell the person that you've met their colleague at some event in London, or what you guys chatted about. It cannot do that. I think since it handles repetitive tasks, the human touch still remains crucial for building trust. And I think that's the foundation of any sales deal anywhere in the world. So, like building trust, understanding the nuance, and closing deals, it's all human after all. But yeah, it's about using AI as a partner and not a competitor, is when sales gets easy. If as everyone says, it's AI is as good as the person using it, and it has become a cliche also. But truly, I feel AI is kind of a superpower for salespeople, not a competitor. So that's what I feel, and a good balance can do wonders, I feel.
Awesome. So if we're going to talk about the future of, let's say, cold
Mhm.
calling and AI
Mhm.
doing cold calls and stuff like that, then you're going to say, "Nah, not in the short term."
Yeah, yeah. I think cold calling won't die easily. It will evolve like everything else as well. Yeah, AI can do personalizing at scale, and it can do warming up before the leads, I assume. But what I imagine is, imagine targeted voicemails to people based on their activities on social media, or a reply to my email. If that can be cracked using AI, I think it will be perfect. I don't have to pick up the phone. It will send a voicemail based on the prospect specific need. I think that would do wonders if that tool comes around. I will be the first one to buy it because personally I'm not a fan of cold calling, but I do it because it's effective in this field and industry where I am. But I think, yeah, AI should empower sales reps with real time data during calls, and make so as to make the conversations engaging and relevant. But it won't die. The cold calling process won't die. It will obviously evolve with AI, like everything else has been.
Gotcha. Now that you mention that, that would be pretty cool that if you're having a conversation with a
Hmm.
potential prospect, either on a cold call or a discovery call, that you would
Hmm.
have like on your own screen, like a
Yeah,
summary
in
or
real
like, hey,
time.
maybe you
Yeah.
can try this or maybe you can try that, or like, hey, ask about this or going more deeper into that.
Yeah, maybe we
Like
can
real-time
configure
guidance.
inputs. Yeah, exactly.
That would be really, really cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe one last question from my side.
Hmm.
Because like we're talking of course about sales tech, sales tooling and stuff like that. What would you
Hmm.
say is the main value driver that you're looking for when acquiring a new sales tool? So that's, do you look at your current sales process and
Hmm.
like what would the perfect sales tool look like for
Hmm.
you?
Okay. So when it comes to sales tool, I just want to forget the features, but I just crave for the impact. So there are so many features. If I've recently experienced this, if I look for features, I get lost. But if I try and I see the impact, it sticks with me. So I think if you give me an AI tool that predicts the next best prospect, it generates hyper personalized email, and it analyzes my calls to reveal hidden opportunities, I will be the first one to take it. It just needs to show me how my sales cycle can come down, and that I think I'll not be able to live without it. So the perfect tool is which creates impact, whether it's emails or whether it's any part of the sales activities that I'm doing right now. With my intelligence as a instruction provider and the tools capabilities as as a help, I think the blend of both could do wonders for me, and that's where the value is, where the impact is there, and where I'm getting my time saved, my effort saved, and everything.
Exactly. That's actually what where you become a superhuman or a super salesperson.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Is there anything that you're specifically that you're missing at this moment? You have your current sales process and sales tech. Where would you say like the if I were to have the like an entire dev team who do
Hmm.
everything I say, this is the first
Hmm.
problem that you need to solve because that's not visible in the market as of today.
Yeah, I think we are spending a lot of time on lead discovery or lead generation. Like the entire industry follows the same pattern of uh, selling a database, putting in filters of your choice. You narrow down from 3 million companies to 100,000 companies to companies, and then when you have the list of 100, say 500 companies, you go to each of their websites and you find out only five of them are of value to you. So being in a niche, I'm saying this, I can speak for everyone from the sales industry, but that's what I've been experiencing since the last 2 years. I think there needs to be a reverse of approach, like a couple of good tools like Ocean.io is doing, where you give in your client's name and it gives you hundreds and thousands of relevant companies similar to those, something what similar web does. So I think that approach helps the entire industry. And right now, me and the team are spending hours and hours on are spending hours on prospecting, finding companies, shortlisting people who to target, and I think that is both time consuming, and it generates fatigue as well. So I
Yeah.
think if we crack where to get our leads and how fast to get them, I think the rest of the work would be very easy.
Exactly. So basically, get rid of the standardized filters that we have right now, which are standard
Exactly.
in the process where you say, oh yeah, I want everyone from software development or like travel. And then you
Yeah.
get like all kinds of different travel companies because you do not
Yeah.
have like subcategories and you cannot go down all the way to the
Exactly.
desired detail that your level of detail that you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. That's a very interesting one. That's actually one of the first times I heard this, but it feels
It's because
very
it's
obvious, so to
because
say.
yeah, it's the idea behind it is nowadays AI is able to almost read your mind. Like you tell the AI one thing and it grasp the other thing very easily. So what if I just gave it one customer of mine and tell them find me hundreds like these because they're in every industry. So as simply I explain my criteria to you for a good deal. If an AI was supposed to understand it exactly like I wanted to, I think I would never go short on leads. I think I will have so many companies in my database ready to go. So instead of me going finding the needle in the haystack, I think I should tell something to the AI which will act as a magnet and get the needle itself. So it's like that. That's the idea behind it.
100%.
One day,
100%.
hopefully.
One day, hopefully,
Yeah.
let's start working on that as Luna.
Yeah, of course.
Very
I think if
nice.
anyone can do it, it's you guys at Luna because it's a great training model that you have set up in the AI.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you saying that. So we've come to the end of the interview. Is there anything that you would that left for you that you'd like to share? Like I'd like to give you the podium if you want to. Anything that you want about your company, about yourself, or like
Mhm.
anything that you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I think about my company, as I said, we are a travel tech company. We started just 5 years back, but we are acquired. We got acquired last year in sometime in August, and we are now part of a listed company in Canada. So the journey has been so fast and so I would say inspiring. And in that, AI had also played a major role because our product uses AI to get the data and clean the data and uses NLP. And also us as employees here have always been focused on growth, and for that also we have relied on newer technology. Our biggest competitor is a company that has started 25 years ago. They are using the technology which they have of course developed till then, but we being a new age company have started with a better tech than they have did, and that's why we are number two, even while it's been only 5 to 6 years and they are there since 25 years. So I think technology plays role in every journey of life, whether it's big companies, whether it's a small sales team, or whether it's anything. So I think being tech savvy is the way to go for all of us in to the sales industry or in any industry.
Awesome. That's so cool. Thanks so much. And with
Yeah.
that, I would like to conclude this episode of this YouTube series where we at Luna.ai interview 100 sales professionals to build the ultimate sales AI and share all of our and their learnings in the process. So hopefully see you back again in the next episode.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Stephen. Bye bye.